Howdy folks, I'm Brian,
I'm Amber.
and here's some Reddit. Some Sunday morning Reddit. Alright folks, our first letter is titled, Am I a jerk for letting someone think that I was a guy until we met in person? I wanted to do a nice light one for this. This was one that I saw earlier in the week, and I didn't get to covering it, but I really liked the story, so we'll have a nice light Sunday morning. How's that sound? So let's get started. So this is a lot less serious than most of the stuff here, but it's a big debate among my friends right now. I'm a 23-year-old female, and I have one of those ambiguous names that can be either a boy or a girl name. It makes things fun sometimes because people assume I'm a dude until they meet me in person. I'm also in a hobby that involves wearing armor, and I'm tall, so it's really hard for people to tell my gender when my helm is on, and it results in some funny reactions sometimes. That's the background. So my friend is planning a D&D game, and he added me to a group to chat and talk about the character creation. I know one other guy in the chat, and there are two that I've never met before. Now keep in mind that I have a profile picture of me in armor, because I mostly talk to people in my sport and friends who know me already, and my name isn't clearly feminine. It becomes apparent that at least one guy, Jake, doesn't realize that I'm a girl when someone asks about inviting their girlfriend to play, and Jake says, Can we just have a guys' night? Girls always ruin the vibe of a game. Oh boy. I see my dungeon master friend typing, so I message him and tell him not to tell the guy off because I want to see what happens. DM friend lets the other two in on it so they won't spoil the reveal, and everyone is getting their popcorn ready. We spend another week talking, during which time Jake keeps digging his hole deeper and deeper, and game day comes around. Jake is the last one to show up, so I'm sitting there with the other guys, and he gives me a slightly annoyed look. I thought your girlfriend wasn't playing, he says to the guy who asked. I'm OP, nice to meet you, I tell him grinning. Sorry if I ruined the vibe of your game. Everyone else laughs, but Jakes goes mental and storms out. He sends us all a rant about tricking him and purposely embarrassing him. That wanting a guy's day isn't a problem, etc. A mutual friend says that while he was out of pocket, I should have corrected him immediately instead of setting him up. Alright, folks, what do you think? Jerk or not the jerk?
Not the jerk. He made a bad assumption. You had no obligation to correct him.
Well, I think that certainly there was a bad assumption made here, and I think maybe he did have the expectation that this was going to be a guy's day, but I think that, again, like, the reason why he wanted a guy's night was because girls ruin the vibe,
Mm-hmm.
right? It wasn't because he just wanted to hang out with the guys or whatever, it was because explicitly that it ruined the vibe.
Right, because he's sexist and he assumes that all women just like ruin everything.
So, I mean, this one's hard because I do think that, like, I hear it hard in some respects because I think that certainly having a guy's night or having a girl's night or something like that isn't necessarily a bad thing, but also I think they're also kind of falling out of form a little bit too.
Well, and I don't think there's like if you plan a trip with the assumption it's going to be a girls' night or a guys'
Mm-hmm.
night, that's one thing. But if you're planning a game and then all of a sudden try to gender segregate it,
Yeah.
that's where I think the purpose wasn't a guys' night. The
Yeah.
purpose was we're gonna play D&D.
Yeah.
And then to be like, oh well, girls always ruin it. Like that I think is where, like, if it had been a guys' night from the get go and then some
Mm-hmm.
OP was added without telling anyone, that might be a little different. But where it was, here's a group of people who like D&D,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where kind of it's different.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't explicitly made out to be a guy's night from the very beginning. I do think that he had the assumption that it was going to be because no one ended up correcting him. But again, like, I think his attitude is pretty terrible here. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not saying OP is in the wrong. I just think that there is some level of nuance here. And what I would be curious is to hear what you folks think. Was OP unreasonable for having ruining the guy's night, or was this perfectly acceptable? So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Serious Rick says, not the jerk, nicely played long game there. He may be mad, but he's also the exact sort of sexist individual that gatekeeps D&D and other games and genres, etc., and needs to be called out. Sometimes even humiliation can be educational. And Lady Rosie says, I doubt that. He will probably blame all the women on the world for being a idiot. Alright, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here, and Amber's got a joke.
What do scientists like to snack on?
Scientists like to snack on brains, because all scientists are actually zombies.
That's a lie. I am a physicist and I can
Well,
confirm
I'm a scientist, and what have I been doing wrong then?
lots. To quote Shaun of the Dead, lots. Fission chips.
That's bad. That's terrible. It's terrible, especially the fission part. I love to eat plasma. It tingles. And I have Mega Mint. I have to talk about Diogenes, and someone else posted a joke, the AFK Panda did, and I don't remember off the top of my head. I'm not well prepared today. I'm rushing at the end. But I will have those stories here soon. So, yeah.
Bernard the Unhinged got to Brian's memory.
All right, folks, that's all the time we have for today. I hope you enjoyed today's Sunday morning special. I hope your weekend is going great and relaxing, and that you're getting anything that you want done, or just relaxing. So thanks so much for watching, and we will see you all tomorrow.
Bye.
I'm also a hobby. I'm a hobby. I'm a literal hobby.